Assalamu alaikum, my brother.
Well, salam. How's it going?
Alhamdulillah, doing well, doing well.
Excellent, excellent. We get started momentarily.
Okay. Well, I'm going on mute. I'm down here in Phoenix. I'll be on mute, so go ahead.
Okay. We
Okay.
appreciate you joining us today.
No problem, man.
Well, fantastic show.
You got a time. You have the time it is.
Yes, yes, sir. We have a fantastic show, inshallah.
Yeah, I guess I could talk to you offline, but he wrote, it's like he wrote an article just for me, huh?
And look, it's every day. It's for all of us.
Ooh.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمد رسول. We greet everyone with the greeting of peace in the most excellent language, the Arabic language. Salam alaikum, peace be unto you. Thank you for joining us today here on Optimal Health on AM 360. We give all the praises and the thanks to the Almighty Source Creator, the creator of everything. Brother and sister, we was created. That makes us part of the creation. There are rules that govern the creation. These same rules govern our anatomy and physiology, our body. Our health is directly related to these rules, these laws. The laws of physics, the natural law, the universal law, the rules of health, the speed law, the law of acceleration, the law of automation, the pH rule, the iron rule, the sulfur rule. And when a person has a disease, they have violated these laws and these rules and these principles. It is just that simple, brothers and sisters. We are to keep in compliance with the natural law, the universal law, the rules of health, and the laws of physics. Whenever we violate these rules and these laws, a disease will occur in the human being. We must be always in compliance with these rules. But here's the problem. No one is teaching us these rules. This should be the first thing that we learn when we come here, when we're born. This should be the first thing that we learn, brother and sister, about these rules so we can stay healthy on this toxic, predatory, and adversary planet. Where it's very difficult to stay healthy, but we were created in such a way to live and thrive here on this planet, nowhere else. We have everything it takes to live and thrive and progress and do for ourselves here on this planet. The Almighty equipped us with everything needed to maintain normalcy, to maintain our health. Health is normalcy. It is not abnormalcy. That's what a disease is called, abnormalcy, brother and sister. Absolutely amazing. So we have to make more and more and more connection so we don't have a disease. We should not have a disease. A disease is an anomaly, an abnormalcy. And it means that we made a mistake in our food choice, what we choose to drink as water and beverages, what we eat as fruits and vegetables. These would be the reason why the person would be sick. The air we breathe, the particle waste, the impurities that's in the air we breathe, the fumes that we've exposed to. Mankind have managed to pollute everywhere on this planet. And this is what making all of us sick. Now we must know how to remove the inert substance from our blood, from our cells, from our tissues, from the intercellular spaces, from our organs. And there's only one place you can learn how to do that. That is the American School of Symptometry, not for profit. The principle and the concept and the precepts is what we discussed on this program. Optimal Health on AM 360. This is what we discussed, brothers and sisters, on this program. The information we share is scientific, verifiable information. We should not have a disease. If we have one, it is because we made a mistake. We make the same mistake of our parents and grandparents. And mistakes, brothers and sisters, should be corrected, not repeated. And this is what's happening to us. And we put our hands in the hands of a physician. Physicians are fine, but they don't cure diseases. Physicians are fine for doing tests, for doing diagnosis, doing blood analysis, and that's it. They don't reverse diseases. They don't study the source of disease. They study disease, pathology. So these are things that we have to learn, brother and sister, in order to maintain our health. So we welcome you to AM 360, and we have this program called Optimal Health. Absolutely amazing. Optimal Health on AM 360. So we welcome you. Thank you for joining us today. We have our guest with us, Miss Rita Taylor. She's going to be sharing some fantastic information, verifiable scientific information. We have been taught misinformation, brother and sister. Misinformation. Bogus theories. And these concepts and precepts goes against our very nature. That's why no one is really achieving health on this planet. Why so many sick people? Why no one is getting better? And we're stuck with our diseases. We're taking the medicine, and those who are trying to avoid taking medicine, pharmaceuticals, or using herbs, why none of these things seem to work? And our disease end up becoming more and more chronic until our life is at stake. There has to be a better way, brother and sister. The Almighty created us with perfection. It is we who are making the mistakes. So we welcome you, and we look forward to sharing this fantastic information of symptomatic science, so we all can be healthy, making use of our brain and our mind to make excellent choices and decisions for ourselves. So we have our guest, our first guest here with us, Miss Rita Taylor. She's going to be working with us today. Miss Rita. Give her an opportunity to open her mic. And she's going to be talking about the big calcium misinformation, drinking milk, dairy, and people thinking it is so healthy. We build strong bones and teeth by consuming them. Well, you're going to get the actual scientific facts today, brother and sister. Not a bunch of bogus theory. You're going to get the verifiable scientific facts. So we have our certified symptometry health coach, also a doctor, a candidate of doctorate, at the American School of Symptometry, a doctoral candidate at the American School of Symptometry, Ms. Rita Taylor. She's going to be working with us today, sharing information about calcium and bringing our attention to the misinformation. The misinformation, brother and sister. And I hope you stick around long enough to understand how to correct this misinformation. Our very life depends on it. So take a moment to call someone, text someone, do a two-way or three-way with a friend or associate, a relative, someone you love, someone you care for, so they also can participate along with us with this scientific verifiable information we're about to share. Miss Rita, I hope she's able to hear me. Still don't hear you, Miss Rita. I see your phone, your device is not muted, but I don't hear you. Unmute your mic, Miss Rita. You just want to make sure you have a good mic. And we're going to take a quick break before we start. You still muted, Miss Rita. You're still muted. Miss Rita. Your mic is still muted. So you might have to call back in to get a better connection. But in the meantime, we'll take a break.
Can you hear me now?
Now I can hear you loud and clear, Miss Rita.
Yeah, my mic was blocked.
It seems like you have two devices open.
Yeah, that's.
You have to close one of them. You're getting feedback.
Okay.
Just close one of your devices. You have two.
Yeah, I've closed it. Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes. Yeah, I see you have two devices.
Yeah, I've closed it because one of them would not let me.
Okay, no problem. No problem. It's working now. That's good.
The mic was blocked on my.
Yes, no problem. No problem at all. We know the technology is what it is. It's man-made, so they have problems sometimes. So that's fine. As long as it's working right now, you sound good.
Okay.
So we just wanted you to say a couple of words before we take our break. I mentioned to our participant today and our guest today that you're going to be talking about the big calcium misinformation. A lot of bogus theories about calcium. Today, they're going to get the verifiable scientific information that's needed so they can regain their health.
Yes, we all have heard about milk make our bodies good, commercial. Well, today we're going to debunk that. And I'm here to share with you that not all the calcium that you go to the health food store to buy are legit. And
absolutely
reason. So I'm looking forward to share with you because calcium is important, but not the calcium they sell at the health food store. Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. I'm looking forward to share that information.
Excellent. So we're going to take a short break, brothers and sisters. Please do not go anywhere. You're with Abdul Shaheed and our guest today, Ms. Rita Taylor. And we're both a certified symptometry health coach. That's a big deal, brothers and sisters. We're a student at the American School of Symptometry that focuses on the needs of our cells. Our cells is what created us. This is what the Almighty used. A cell has a nucleus. Inside the nucleus, you can find the DNA, the genes, the chromosome, and chromatin, the engine of the cell. So if the engine is messed up and corrupt and having a problem, you're going to be having a problem. The cell will have a problem. Things will grind to a halt if the engine of the cell has a problem. It's just like your car. If the engine is shot, so is the car. It's not going to move, not going anywhere. Our body operates the same way, brothers and sisters. There's the engine in each cell. Trillions of cells, 40 to 50 trillion cells we're made up of. And they're in charge of our health. We take care of them. They're excellent at taking care of us. So now we have a school teaching us how to take care of the living cell of the human being. So we'll be at our best, producing a healthy brain and a healthy mind to make excellent choices. This is the problem with the human being. The choices he's making that gets him in trouble. So brothers and sisters, we'll be right back. Please do not go anywhere at all. Thank you so very much.
people get sick all the time. However, even after years of research, physicians don't have the faintest clue why most sick people find themselves in the predicament they do. Will they just accept the same treatment without truly getting to the bottom of what is happening to them? Not anymore. Symptometry draws attention to your cells, the building block of your being, allowing you to understand what needs to be done and paving the way for self-correction. Developed by Dr. Maxwell Nardi, symptometry is not medicine or even its alternative. It is a study designed to fill in the void left behind by the most common scientific fields. Symptometric science has proven time and again, over 31 years, that chaotic eating and living are not in the best interest of the cells. It's about time we change that to understand symptometry, dive into a whole new world of cell-based knowledge, and profoundly appreciate human cells' work. Get your copy of Symptometry and Symptometric Science at a Glance by Dr. Maxwell Nardi now.
Welcome back, brothers and sisters. With Abdul Shaheed, your host, your certified symptometry health coach, along with our guest, Mrs. Rita Taylor, also a certified symptometry health coach that focuses on the needs of our cell. That's what symptometry is. Our cell has the ability to self-correct, self-regulate, self-cleanse, recalibrate, and self-perpetuate. That means they can keep going and keep going and keep going. It is we who must provide blood, cleaner blood with more oxygen. That's our responsibility. That's part of the rule of health, brothers and sisters. How to provide cleaner blood with more oxygen. Oxygen represents the life sustainer. They have force and automation when things happen automatically. Without it, the cell comes to a grinding halt. They undergo atrophy, suspended animation until they get what they need. That means a disease will occur. That's what it means. So, brothers and sisters, thank you for joining us today here on Optimal Health on AM 360. We're going to share the mic with our guest, Ms. Rita Taylor, and she's going to be talking about today the big calcium misinformation, the reason why we get to become senior citizens and our bones are fragile, falling down, breaking bones, and having surgery, hip replacement, all these things. And once you do that, the person's health is downhill from there. Mm-hmm. Short life expectancy after that hip surgery. Yes. Doesn't have to go out like that, brothers and sisters. We do not have to go out like that with people taking advantage of us. Mm-hmm. 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 So, Ms. Rita, you have a live mic. I'm passing the mic to you. Thank you for joining us today here on Optimal Health on AM 360.
Brothers and sisters, pleasure is all mine. I'm delighted to share with you the misinformation about calcium. You know, we all need calcium. And if you remember, years ago, the TV ad was said, milk make your body good, and you have the milk on, you know, on the faces of celebrities and telling us that we need to drink milk. Let me tell you the first misinformation. You only need milk to the age of 4. Do you hear me? 4. After that, you don't need milk because you get the calcium. If you're using the right supplement, you get the calcium from other sources. If you drink milk at the age of 50, what you're doing is that you are causing sludge in your body. And that's the problem we have. So if you do not learn anything at all, milk, you need it up to the age 4. Then I'll show you why you don't need it after that. Okay? What does our bones need? You know, the commercial said that, you know, we need to have calcium. That is correct. But the commercial also doesn't tell you that we also need phosphorus. We need selenium. We need salt. We need sulfur. We need certain vitamins, carbon, and energy. It's not only calcium that we need all these things I've just, you know, told you about. Then we also have a membrane called peristome that covers every bone. This peristome ultimately osteoclasts break down all bone cells, allowing the osteoblasts to utilize phosphorus, vitamins, and other essential elements to generate new and stronger bone cells. It's not the milk that you're drinking that will help you with stronger bone cells, but rather the osteoclast that breaks down the old bone and create the new bone. Okay. So, but the doctor was taught in advanced nutrition class about calcium being essential to cell division. She was taught that calcium was essential to cell division. And I'm here to tell you that could give you some fact. That is not true. That is not true. These are some variable scientific facts that I'd like to share with you. Number one, there are two enzymes that regulates cell division and is called kinase and cyclin. Again, these are enzyme, not calcium, the electrolyte. Moreover, there are two enzyme should not this two enzyme kinase and cyclin should never be deactivated or denatured. What does it mean by deactivated? If you're drinking alcohol, if you're drinking drink alcohol, wine, all those, you taking pharmaceutical drugs, that will deactivate that enzyme that we're talking about. But a lot of people don't even know that. That enzyme should not be deactivated or denatured. So now let's talk about milk, the biggest elephant in the room. Let's talk about milk. What is the milk story? Okay, first of all, milk contains casein, a complete protein composed of 9 amino acids, calcium, saturated fat for cholesterol production, water, phosphoprotein, and a variety of allergens. Okay? Breast milk, which we all know is critical for a child when they're born, okay, have all the things I just enumerated except phosphoprotein. And so that's why it's better to breastfeed than bottle fed. Here's a question. Why do some babies develop bone problems if they are fed milk? Here's the answer. The reason is that the sludge in that baby has never been removed. And you know what? Let me also share something with you. The only symptometry signs have what we called symptometry sign have pregnancy management. And pregnancy management in the womb, we will make sure that the child do not have sedimentary sludge. You doesn't need that. But if you don't go through pregnancy management, you do the normal, that child, even though she's a baby, will have sedimentary sludge. And what are these sedimentary sludge we're talking about? We're talking about inner substances. We're talking about lithiasis. We're talking about tofu. We're talking about gravel. All the concretions that we get when we eat the wrong food will make up the sedimentary sludge. Okay? So if that sludge is never removed from the bone cell, allowing the osteoblast to build bones, then it will be the bones will be built on garbage. Because why do I call it garbage? Because that sedimentary sludge has not been removed. And we all need to remove sedimentary, even as an adult, all of us, because we eat. And when we eat the debris that I talk about, the inner substances, I talked the lithiasis, the concretions that we talked about, it all part of the sedimentary sludge. And babies are no different. And babies are no different. So if the babies and the children do not have their sedimentary sludge removed from the bones, it will prevent the bone density and other bone diseases. Again, the reason kids, have bone problem, all these issues, MS and all that jazz. I mean, it started from the fact that they have sedimentary sludge that has not been removed. Yes.
Yes, I just purchased a microphone for my computer, and I was seeing if it actually worked. Am I being heard?
Yes, but you're middle of my program, so can
I'm
you?
sorry. I'm
Okay.
sorry. I just had to check this mic.
Yeah,
I'm
we can hear
sorry.
you, Imam. We can hear you, Imam, but it still sound choppy,
It
Yeah.
does.
very choppy.
Okay.
I have both a mic. Maybe I got the wrong kind of mic. I'll carry it back. Inshallah.
No problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, you sound choppy. It's not clear. Okay. So what I was saying that even babies do have sedimentary sludge, and those sedimentary sludge need to be removed. Okay. So drinking milk, eating greens, or taking calcium supplements without removing sedimentary sludge that I talked about, the inner substance, the concretion, the tofus, the lithiasis that form the sedimentary sludge need to be removed. And believe me, all of us, including me, have sedimentary sludge because we eat chaotically. We eat everything that comes on our plate. We eat everything like that. So everybody needs to remove that sedimentary sludge. Okay, so that's why symptometry science is here to share with you the truth about milk and calcium. Okay. So, why do some people walk all the way to the vitamin store and buy the calcium? They think that is going to help them with the calcium. Did they know? Did they know the action that they took? Because the calcium that they bought might not be the right calcium. It might be pulverized calcium from animal bones, as well as calcium from limestones, dolomite, eggshells, oyster shells, among others. These calcium supplements have been given all these names, making them more appealing to our senses. But are they the right calcium? Brothers and sisters, no, they're not. Symptometry do have the right calcium. If you buy from symptometry the calcium, you will not need any of these fancy names. I take them all the time. Okay. So when you and one other thing is that there are all these names for calcium. They call calcium glucosinate, citrate, calcium malate, carbonate, and lactate. All these names. What does it mean? Just to confuse you. No, you need the right calcium, and a lot of us are not using the right calcium. And so your bones are not being, I mean, it's not being strong because the calcium you're taking is garbage. It's not good for your bone. Okay. So if you have to go to the pharmacist and say, "Oh, would you please help me with the right calcium?" The calcium that the pharmacy doesn't do anything. She would just give you anything on the shelf. She would give you anything on the shelf because we have about 6 or 7 or 8. You give you one and say, "Oh, take it home. This is calcium," and you don't have a clue what he's giving you. So you take it home and you take them. You think you're getting the calcium. Let me tell you something. Before I came to Centometry, I was doing the same thing. I go to the pharmacy and then I'll take the calcium supplement. And when I came in, I told the doctor, I have, you know what? I'm great. I'm great because I'm taking the supplement, but it was garbage. So be the buyer beware. We are telling you the truth as of today. Symptometry is the only school that will share the truth with you. So we want you to take it home and share with your family members that the calcium they buy from the drugstore is not the right calcium. Okay? So now let's talk about calcification. What is calcification and what does it mean? Calcification is accumulation of calcium metabolites. When the entire calcium molecule cannot be digested due to digestive enzyme insufficiency, the remaining calcium particles will continue to circulate in the blood until currents dump them to a specific location. such as the breast, such as the knee, such as the elbow or the neck, where they form a calcification. Again, did I define what calcification is? I will repeat that because I know it sounds scientifically. It's the accumulation of calcium metabolites when the entire calcium molecule cannot be digested. You have a digestive enzyme problem due to the enzyme insufficiency. The remaining calcium particles will continue to circulate in the blood. And then the current will dump that either in your breast, your knee, your neck, or your elbow to form calcification. Unless, again, brothers and sisters, assalamu alaikum, unless that calcification is ionized by symptometry, the calcification will continue to be with you till you die. Okay? Calcification means we ionize means that you come in there, we give you the particulate that ionize your cell, and that will help you with your calcification. Okay. The question is, how much calcium is recommended per day, per each person? For adult, 25 years or older, we need 250 milligrams. Okay, and this can be split 175 each. And then it's better, again, it's better to take symptometry recommended calcium supplement than the one from a pharmacy or a nutrition store, or drink milk, eat yogurt, eat cheese and pizza. Remember, when people are eating yogurt, and I used to be one of them, oh, I'm getting my calcium. Oh, I'm getting this. And when I ate cheese, oh, I'm getting my calcium. But it has a lot of problems. A lot of problems. The people are selling their product. They don't tell you that you're getting calcification. Okay. So people will drink milk. They will eat pizza, ice cream, cheese. They all contain calcium, but it will also increase your blood calcium level, which will raise a concern. You don't want your blood calcium level to be elevated. Okay, so let me show you some of the things that will not help you with your calcium. There is a product ficin, Ficin, from cheese, will group calcium ion and bundle them with blood fibrinogen into a knot, causing a blood clot. Ficin. This is how blood clots are formed. And where could you find ficin? In cheese, in figs. If you eat all those food, ficin is there. And then this is how blood clots are formed. Okay? So always remember that no calcium, no clotting. It is the simple thing to remember. The next thing that you also need to remember, does hypertension cause a stroke? Physicians will tell you that it does. Symptometrists say, no, no, no. Calcium problem, only calcium problem causes a stroke, not hypertension. Only calcium problem causes stroke, not hypertension. But a lot of people say, oh, I got a stroke because of hypertension. No, the truth is that it is the calcium problem that you have in your blood that will cause a stroke. So let's talk about pizza eaters. I used to eat a lot of pizza in my days before I came to symptometry. Okay? Now I stay away from them. Okay? Is pizza a calcium food? Of course it is. Eating pizza and drinking milk on the same day increases your chances of developing a stroke, because ficin contain too many calcium ion, will be in your blood. And as I told you, you do not need a higher calcium ions in your blood. But if you drink milk and you eat pizza, both of them at the same time, you are increasing your chances of developing a stroke. Again, milk, I told you from the beginning, you only need milk till the age of 4. I still see people in the grocery store in their 30s, in their 40s with gallons of milk that they've been drinking. Well, if I were them, I will wean away from them because that is one of your chances of getting stroke, not the hypertension that you've been told to believe. So wean yourself, and you can do it. I wean myself from milk, and I don't. I drink water. Water is my form of thing I drink. Okay, so we talked about blood clots, which occlude, which prevent the capillaries from supplying blood to the nerves and neurons to the lips, to the face, to the fingers, to the ankle, to the knee, will cut off the blood supply to these nerves and neurons, causing the stroke. Again, it is the blood clots which will prevent the capillaries supplying blood to the nerves and neurons of the lips, of the face, of the elbow, of the fingers, of the ankle, knee, will cut off the blood supply of these nerves and neurons, causing a stroke. So this is how a stroke occurs. It has nothing to do with your blood pressure. It's the calcium that will cause a stroke, especially if you're taking the wrong calcium. Calcium that cause not the high blood pressure. But we've been taught to believe that it's the high blood pressure that causes stroke. Okay? Again, let me give you an example. You know, in Italy, they eat a lot of pizzas, but they don't have a lot of strokes. So why did they eat a lot of pizza? They don't have stroke in America. We eat pizza, but not like the way they do in Italy. Why do we have stroke and the Italians do not? That is food for thought. Okay, there's something we're doing wrong that the Italians are doing right. Again, it's the calcium ions we have in our body that will cause stroke. Okay, so here, when you go to the doctor, what do? They tell you to take aspirin, 81 milligrams. Anybody knows about that? Go to the doctor. That's what they used to tell my husband. Take the aspirin, 81 milligrams. Well, we came to symptometry and we said, yeah, it does not prevent strokes. As a matter of fact, it is worse. Let me give you why. Okay? The reason, and I say the reason a person get a stroke boiled down to the number of calcium ion in the blood will determine your chances of getting a stroke. That's it. It's not your hypertension. And the second thing about aspirin that you need to take away, if you're taking it today, if you're over 50 or 60 and the doctor said, oh, take the aspirin, 81 milligram. The Bayer, it's made by Bayer and it said 81 milligram. Let me share the truth with you. The 81 milligram aspirin causes internal bleeding, liver spots, and other hemorrhagic diseases. Instead of educating people on the causes of blood clots, our doctors are prescribing aspirin, 81 milligram, and their patients still take them. I bet you if I ask you up here, the people there, how many of you are taking aspirin, 81 milligram? You can raise your hand. It will not help you with your stroke. I've shared with you the reason you have stroke is the calcium ions you have in your blood, not your hypertension. Okay, so as I said, aspirin causes internal bleeding. The doctors won't tell you that. The liver spot and other hemorrhagic diseases. So we're here in symptometry to educate you the real story about stroke, the real story about aspirin, and what you need to do to prevent stroke. It's not high blood pressure. It is the calcium ions you have in your body. And that's what causes stroke. And so if you see people that have stroke and they beating themselves up, you have a higher incidence of calcium ions in your blood, which you shouldn't be having in the first place. So, brothers and sisters, your health is your life, your journey. Your health is yours, not somebody else. You have a right to tell them, no, I don't want to do this because I want to seek a second opinion. Don't let them bamboozle you and say you have to. No, because you don't. Because if you do not tell them that, you will continue to be misinformed and you will think that, oh, the grandpa here who had a stroke because he had hypertension. The question is that it's not hypertension. I made a clear distinction that is the calcium ion you have in your blood. And all the crazy calcium that we're buying from the store, which is not good iron, good calcium. That's what you have. And if you don't have the digestive enzyme, you need to have a digestive enzyme and auxiliary enzyme. If you don't have those enzymes, you're going to have a higher incidence of calcium in your blood. So, brothers and sisters, your life is in your hand. We're here to educate and to help you understand the mystery behind stroke and why taking aspirin is fruitless and what you need to do to make sure you take the right calcium. And when you take the right calcium, you will live healthily. And your bones, remember we talk about not only calcium, but phosphorus and all the things you need. Again, symptometry signs will help you live the way you want so that you will not have the stroke. You have the right calcium. And milk does the body good. Milk is needed from age 0 to 4. Brother Saheed, assalamu alaikum.
Well, like I said, Ms. Rita, you did an excellent job. We're going to see if anyone have any questions for you. But before we do, we're going to take a short break and we'll be right back. So please do not go anywhere at all. Take a moment again to call someone, to remind them about optimal health here on AM 360. We are sharing verifiable scientific information that you can start using today because there's so much misinformation out here. They're compromising us. We've been bamboozled, brother and sister. Hook went. We're made to get sick. We're not supposed to get sick. We're not supposed to even have a disease. The Almighty created us in such a way, we're not supposed to have a disease. We only have disease because we are making mistakes. Now we have an opportunity to get the scientific verifiable information and correct our mistakes and move forward to make progress. This is how it's done. So brothers and sisters, we'll be right back. Please do not go anywhere at all. Thank you.
I'm Dr. Maxwell Narton, inventor of symptometry and symptomatic science. Many of you may not have heard of symptometry because it appears to be new. Unfortunately, new does not mean untested. Symptometry has been around for 32 years, since 1991. During these 32 years, I had to conduct several experiments. I had to test the precepts and the concepts of symptometry and symptomatic science. After 32 years of testing, the results are in. The results are excellent. This is why you are hearing about symptometry and symptomatic science now. I invented symptometry and symptomatic science for a reason. What is this reason? The reason is medical science, nutrition, Chinese traditional medicine, acupuncture, chiropractic, Ayurveda, and herbalism created a gaping hole, a large and deep vacuum, bottomless vacuum that had to be filled. This is why I created symptometry and symptomatic science. We are not
Welcome back, brothers and sisters, with Abdul Shaheed and our guest, Mrs. Rita Taylor. And this is Optimal Health on AM 360. Anyone have a question for our guest before she has to leave? We've been talking about the calcium misinformation. Milk. Does a human being need milk? Here's a fact, brother and sister. There's no mammal on earth that drink milk after it has been weaned from its mother. All we have to do is watch the animal. Look, watch them, follow them. No mammal. We are mammals, brothers and sisters. We produce milk for our young. And there are many mammals on this planet. Not one of them drink milk after they have been weaned from their mother. Why are humans drinking milk? I'll tell you why. It's a billion-dollar industry. That's why.
You got it right.
Billion-dollar industry, and we're being taken advantage of. Milk will become a bone destroyer if you continue to drink milk after you've been weaned from your mother.
Mm-hmm.
It destroys every bone in the body.
Mm-hmm.
This is what makes the senior citizen with low bone density.
Mm-hmm.
Then they put you on calcium to do nothing. Brothers and sisters, we got to get educated, informed, become knowledgeable. So anyone have a question for our guest before she has to leave? Don't be shy. Ask the question.
Please do. That's what we're here for. It's to educate us.
Absolutely.
That's what we're here for. You can't ask the doctors, you can ask us.
How many drinking milk? Still drinking milk today. And your doctor say in order to strengthen your bones. They're lying. Why are they lying to us? Well, they're lying to you now. I know better. I'm a student at the American School of Symptometry, being taught better. But before then, I didn't know either.
Exactly. A lot of women has bone density problems.
Exactly.
You ask why, doctor, why do I have a bone density problem? Even though I'm drinking milk every day. What did they tell you? Nothing.
It would set the person up, the woman up for calcification in her breath.
Exactly.
Which causes cancer.
Mm-hmm.
Lumpy breast, calcification, concretion, sedimentary sludge in your breast, setting up you as a potential to produce cancer in your breast. Drinking milk. Milk is a phosphorus protein. What does that mean? It means it would destroy 3 of the amino acids in our DNA, making our DNA become fragmented. the genes would never release the blueprint. This is the reason why we have diseases. The DNA become fragmented. 3 amino acids will be compromised, destroyed, displaced, whatever word you want to use. It won't be there. And this is why the person will be set up for cancer and many other diseases.
Because the reason that the amino acids have 20, and if you destroy 3, it means they have 17 left. So
Exactly.
go figure. Go figure that. You're born with 20.
20 in the DNA.
And DNA. And if you destroy 3 because you're eating cheese and all these things, and it's not there, you're prone to get cancer. And say, oh, I don't know what happened. Well, have you been drinking milk?
Ms. Rita and I are not making this information up. You eat
No,
cheese, you're going to have blood clots. You think that has something to do with your health? Yes, indeed. Blood would not be where it's supposed to be in all of the trillion of cells. Blood clot would be blocking the blood flow. Eat cheese, it has visine. We use chromatography research to see all of these things in the food.
And it's right there.
It's been there for all these years, brothers and sisters. Million of them, million of years. We just headed off in the wrong direction. And this is why we have a disease. We're not supposed to have a disease. The Almighty created us with normalcy. But we make mistakes. That's the reason. We're not learning what we need to learn. And we're not applying what we should apply. There are rules to health. How many do you know? How many of the rules do you know? This is why we're sick. And we violated the patterns in creation called the fitra. You violate the rules. So anyone have a question for our guest before she has to leave? Then you have me. You be stuck with me. So you know.
And also ask yourself, as a woman, why is it that we have so many women with osteoporosis?
Yes,
and then they're having hip surgery and they're using a walker, and before long they can't walk anymore. Why? Ask yourself, what happened? You've been drinking milk all the time and it's supposed to help with the bones, and it did not. Did you ask the doctor, so what happened to me? And then you fall. A lot of fall for women because their bones are not strong. Ladies and gentlemen, if I were you, I'll be running to symptometry like I did, because it changed my life, my lifestyle, the food that I stopped eating, that I thought I was healthy, not knowing that the food was killing me softly. Killing me softly. You heard the music, killing me softly. Some food are doing that to us. But you know what? If anything's going to change in your life, it's going to be you. I'm saying that enroll in symptometry and learn about food, because, there are 3 things that we consume: food, water, and the air we breathe. All these 3. What are we doing? What kind of food is going to your body? What kind of water are you drinking? Are you drinking electrolyte water? Are you drinking alkaline water? The pH balance have to be correct. So we're here to help you live longer, and talk to Brother Shaheed, and let him know, hey, I need some calcium. The calcium I'm taking is not good. How can I change that? Symptometry will give you the right calcium, because the calcium you have at the vitamin store are 10, 12, 15 different calciums, and they are all not good enough. So anyway, I just wanted to share with you, because milk, I've been told as the best food. Yes, it is the best food till you at age 4. You weaned off. You don't need them anymore.
That's absolutely correct, Miss Rita. And some mothers are over carbonizing their baby's blood by keeping them on the milk.
On the milk.
They
Some,
keep drinking the milk, keep giving them the breast milk even.
exactly.
There's a time limit, brother and sister. There's a time limit.
11 months. 11 months. Cut it out.
If the baby's blood is overcarbonized, you set them up for diseases throughout their life. And the only way you will prevent that for the person to come to symptometry, to have it corrected, overcarbonized. These elements are no joke. We're made of atoms, elements, minerals. And when we have too many carbon ions circulating in our blood, we will have a problem.
Exactly. So if you have calcium ions circulating in your blood, you have a problem.
Exactly. The word calcification sounds like calcium. There's a connection there.
It is. It is.
We must have enzymes to digest and to break down the calcium completely. If not, you will have calcium metabolites in your blood.
Exactly.
Same thing with salt, same thing with sugar. Salt metabolite. You didn't digest the salt well enough. Sugar metabolite. You didn't digest the sugar well enough. You consumed it, but it did not get digested because you deactivated the enzyme to do it. How did you deactivate the enzyme? Eating something, drinking something that you shouldn't have been drinking in the first place or shouldn't have been eating in the first place. We eat nuts and seeds. They have prussic acid. People drink alcohol.
Plenty.
People drink coffee and tea, poison that deactivate enzyme. We eat plants without cooking them. Ammonia is a poison. Deactivate enzyme.
Exactly. The phytol.
The phytol, the lectins in the plant, deactivate enzyme. We eat plant alkaloids because we choose the wrong plants to eat. We're not using science.
No.
We're using culture or religion for selecting the food.
And if I can end with it, vegetarians, plants were not made for us to eat, though.
Absolutely.
They were made for their predators. They don't want anybody to touch them. So they have lectins in there. And that's incomplete protein. And you do not cook it and you eat them. Boy, I mean, you might be healthy today, but 20 years from now, you might be facing the music. Plants are not made for us. Plants are made for their predators because they don't want them to be touched. So it has a lot of, things on it, poisons and all the viruses, everything on that thing. And then you go in there and take it and you don't even cook them and you eat them. Wow. Well, that's the story.
We'll try one more time, Ms. Reed, before you leave. Anyone have a question or a comment for our guest before she has to leave? Anybody want to give her the greeting before she has to leave? Anybody want to say, job well done? I learned a lot from you today. Anybody want to say anything? Any comments at all or any questions? Last time.
Assalamu alaikum, Martha Nyla here. One moment, my background got, but I wanted to, I'm doing financials, that's why but alhamdulillah, but I'm enjoying listening while I'm doing the financials because this is a stressful time for that.
Right.
So I've heard a lot about cortisol, and when you say elements and you say the atoms and everything, how does it work that the cortisol gets riled up is the only word I can think of to come to my mind, that when you're under stress, and what's the first thing that we should do to relax that whole process?
Yeah, there's a neurotransmitter that we should produce to maintain our stress level, which is norepinephrine. That's a neurotransmitter for managing stress. And then another thing, and who do not have stress in this life? Every day there's something you got to deal with, some surprise you have to deal with. So we have stress. But the Almighty has equipped us with neurotransmitter, norepinephrine, and then epinephrine, and then we have dopamine for courage. Most times people are just scared to death. we have dopamine for courage, for dealing with life challenges. This is what we have to be producing all the time.
But especially when we, excuse me, especially when we hit IRS.
Yes, absolutely. You get scared to death. You think they're coming to get you already and take everything you have. So that fear factor, and because of the fear factor, it produces more lactic acid in our bloodstream is being produced at the same time. Lactic acid is another form of concretion. You have to be smart enough to remove it. How you remove it? We have formula A16B, a molecule from centometer that centometer produces. And then we have to help our adrenal cortex, adrenal gland to produce cortisol. You don't need to go take no cortisol tablet or get a shot. No, our own body produces everything we need to maintain harmony, to maintain the balance. So this is what we have to do. This is why we have scientific cooking and eating, so we don't deactivate or denature the enzyme. That is the first thing our cell has to produce, because enzymes are the work tools of our cell. If the person is sick, you can count that there's an enzyme that they just messed up. They deactivated. They made it worthless. It's always go back to enzyme and removing garbage and sludge from our body, because we have to eat food to get sustainable energy, to live, to get sustainable energy. We have to always be removing sludge. Nobody's told us this. Now we're learning, because the sludge will cover our cells, keep them from receiving nutrients and resources to produce enzyme, and also to produce all the essential to maintain normalcy. Our cells do everything. And when they cannot do it, they send us a sign called symptoms. That's the language that they speak to warn us that we're getting ready to veer off normalcy and we're going to head in the wrong direction, which is abnormalcy. So they give a sign. The sign would direct a trained doctor of symptometry to the source of the person's problem, to the source of the person's disease. It's a form of communication, but no one has taught us what these cells are communicating to us. We have the body, so now the cells are communicating to us. So we can give them the help that they need. If we give them the help that they need, they will reverse any condition, put it back to normalcy. This is what we have to do. So we're not having, we have pain and inflammation, is because we're not producing enough cortisol.
Oh, okay. So
that's
pain
why.
and inflammation is because
Pain
we're not
and
producing.
inflammation.
So we've
Yes,
blocked something.
We block something based on what we're eating, and we have concretion and congestion in the adrenal cortex, in the adrenal gland that produce cortisol. That's sedimentary sludge. The sedimentary sludge have inert substance that cause things not to move. No circulation, no resources, no.
So sitting for too long a period of time.
Yeah, that can happen.
Yes.
Eating the wrong food will produce more inflammation. Worrying, stress, abuse, trauma would do the same thing. It would drive inert substance into our tissues, into the intercellular spaces, and it'd be hard to get them out of there. The only way you can get it out is come to symptometry and get the subatomic particle, the particulates that has the powerful energy. That's what it takes to remove them and give the cell what they need to jumpstart enzyme production. That's what happens. That's how you get it done. And then at the same time, you work with someone like Ms. Rita or myself to help with selecting your food, selecting your water. Make sure you're drinking the right water. You're cooking with the right salt. You're cooking with the right oil. You're not eating eggs. You're not eating nuts and seeds. You're not eating raw plants and raw vegetables. You're not eating the fruits that compromising everything. That's what's making us sick.
All I can say is thank you.
Thank you for that question, Sister Martha. Thank you.
You're welcome, Mike. Again, thank you.
Try again, Ms. Rita, your phone.
Brother Shaheed, I just let you.
Yeah, your device is breaking up.
It is breaking up. So. Yeah. So
we thank you so very much. And I will share your information so people can see your information. Let me put it back up before you go. If anyone knows someone that's having a baby, Ms. Rita specializes in pregnancy management. Do not have a baby without pregnancy management. Don't do it, brothers and sisters. We now have the knowledge and have a perfect baby to prepare the mother for the delivery, prepare the mother for producing everything in the baby by providing the nutrients and the resources to the trophoblast, those specialized cells that build the baby, and removing blood impurity, removing sedimentary sludge, so things will work efficiently. This is what has to happen. So we can create more law-abiding citizens and babies and children who are not so stubborn and who don't want to do anything but cause problems for you. This is what we have to do, brothers and sisters. So please, if you know someone that's pregnant, recommend to them to contact Ms. Rita for pregnancy management. Our email address is info@pregnancymadeeasy.com. Phone number 469-609-0368. And her website is pregnancymadeeasy.com. Absolutely amazing. So brothers and sisters, our guest's gonna have to go. So we thank you for listening to her, giving her your time and attention. Thank you so very much, Ms. Rita. Okay, look like she's already left. So brothers and sisters, you left with me. We have excellent information that we're going to continue to share, and we're going to be talking about dialysis in our kidneys. But before we do, we're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back. So please do not go anywhere at all. This is another opportunity. You can connect with someone, do a two-way or three-way, so they can also benefit from the information we're about to share. We'll be right back.
Every anomaly has a cause. For generations, we've only scratched the surface of understanding mental health. Dr. Maxwell Nardi, using the pioneering science of symptometry, delves deeper than ever before, catering to the needs of cells and blood, not just symptoms. With a fresh new approach, uncover the building blocks of your health, redefining health science. Discover the underlying causes of mental anomalies. The book that's changing everything we know about health. Available now. Take charge of your health journey.
Welcome back, brothers and sisters, with Abdul Shaheed, your host, here on Optimal Health on AM 360. We thank you again for joining us today, and we hope you have some questions for the remainder of our program. We'd like to talk about and share some information on the big dialysis misinformation. People go on dialysis. My mother was on dialysis. I tried talking her out of it, but I couldn't do it. She had to go on it, and her health went downhill from that point. Deteriorated because of being on dialysis. Dialysis would never replace our kidney. Our kidney do so many different functions for our body, brother and sister. And that dialysis would not make up a fraction of what our kidney is able to do, that our Almighty created us with. We have to take care of the kidney cell. We have to understand the health rules. There are rules to health, brother and sister. And just to mention a couple of them before we start talking about dialysis and the misinformation about dialysis, we like to mention a couple of health rules. We'll be in violation of the rules. And nobody is teaching us these rules. And that's why we have this program, brother and sister. This program, your health is everything as a human being. If you overlook your health, It's done. Short life expectancy. And then you have mental illness to deal with if you don't take care of your brain. If you don't produce neurons, neurotransmitters in the proper number and amount, and remove sedimentary sludge from your blood, from your brain, from your heart and lung, and everywhere else in the body, the information that we're sharing with you, you have to know. You have a body that you're responsible for. The first rule of health, brothers and sisters, this is it right here. Our first responsibility is to protect our DNA, our blood, and our cells from harm, and maintain their integrity and their well-being. That's the first rule to health. You're responsible, not the doctor, not the physician, not your chiropractor, not your herbalist. You are. The Almighty gifted you with the body that afford us to have life on this planet. We keep overlooking that. And you're responsible for it. And you're going to be held accountable for it. We didn't have those diseases as a young child. We didn't have these different diseases that we end up with and that would take our life. We succumb to diseases. Why should we succumb to a disease? It's because we're not being taught how to protect ourselves. So our health is everything for us, brothers and sisters. We're not supposed to have a disease. How can I say that? Because the Almighty created us with normalcy. That's what he did. We made the mistakes. So we have nobody but us to blame. If we don't know how to take care of ourselves, the question is, why not? Why you don't know? You have a brain. These things, we can no longer continue to not ponder these things, brothers and sisters. So the first rule to health, we're responsible. Rule number 2, we must help ourselves to produce food enzyme and ancillary enzyme for repair, maintenance, and upkeep, just like you do your car, just like you do your home, just like you do your cell phone, just like you do your computer. Maintenance, upkeep, updates. Are you updating your own cells? Are you helping them to divide, produce a new cell to replace old cell? And whatever weaken you, are you strengthening it? No, you're not. So you're in violation again. In violation again. We must help ourselves. Give them what they need, and we will never have a disease. They are smart. They are super smart. They have atomic intelligence, brothers and sisters. They have atomic intelligence. They're able to do everything for us to make us at our best. And when we compromise and having problems, it is because of the cells are having problems. We are cells, and we're made of energy, and we're energy dependent. Second rule, we must maintain flexibility in our joints and artery. If an artery become hard, not flexible, we're going to have a problem with circulation. We're going to have a problem with blood pressure. Sometimes it's teaching us how to maintain the flexibility of our blood vessels and our joints. All these things are rules. They are rules to help us to understand what our responsibility is. There are specialized cells that help us to maintain the flexibility in our muscles and joints. Specialized cells. Over 200 different types of cells, brothers and sisters, that we're made of. And they are in charge. Give them what they need, they can figure everything out. This is how it's done. The body must receive the sufficient rest every day, at least 5.5 hours of sound sleep, not from a sleeping pill. Sound, natural sleep. Sleeping pills do not count. This is the time when our cells recalibrate. The tempo of your activity has been reduced. Now they can repair. self-correct, self-regulate, self-cleanse, recalibrate, and self-perpetuate while you're resting in a subconscious state. But you're still aware. You still have awareness. The tempo has been reduced. Our cells never sleep, brother and sister. You have to sleep, have to rest, have to reduce your activity, but the cells never sleep to maintain your life. They're nonstop working. Give them what they need. They'll produce energy to do their work. First, essential that they must produce are enzymes. Then you come along and eat something or drink something that deactivate them, or expose yourself to something that would deactivate them. And that would be the reason why you have a disease. You deactivated the enzyme for cell division. You deactivated the enzyme to produce digestive enzyme. Enzyme for repair and maintenance. Enzyme for removing toxic. Enzyme for breaking bond on concretion. Plant alkaloids, phytols, lectins, parabens, preservatives, and that list goes on and on and on, brothers and sisters. So we just wanted to share a few rules. There's many of them, and we will be sharing more of them on this program. There's no other place you can go to get the information and knowledge needed to maintain your health than where you are right now, unless you become a student at the American School of Symptometry. Absolutely amazing. So brothers and sisters, we're going to share some information. If you have a question, just raise your hand or just let me know you have a question at any point. Then we will address your question or concern. Everything about the human being, brothers and sisters, made of cells. Our bones made of cells. Our heart cell. Our kidney cell. Our skin cell. Real simple. You take care of those cells, and they'll take care of the organ and you. If they're congested and compromised, it's your responsibility to remove the congestion. If they're overcome by poison and toxic because you didn't pay any attention to what you was doing, it's your responsibility to remove the poison, to neutralize the poison, and remove it from your blood. What we eat, what we drink, and the chemical and substance we expose ourselves to will find its way into your blood. And it will circulate there forever until you forcefully remove them. These are the facts, brothers and sisters. I'm not just talking just to be talking. I'm sharing this information with you so you at some point will start utilizing and applying it. The science we're talking about is therapeutic science that must be applied. That's symptometry. Means nothing if you don't apply it. The science must be applied in order to benefit from it. So if you have a question, brother and sister, do not hesitate to ask your question as we'll go along here. And we thank you once again for joining us today here on Optimal Health on AM 360. Please continue to share our platform with people that you love, people that you know, your business associate, your friends, your relatives, people who have health issues that you come in contact with, that the doctor is not helping them with. They're getting worse and worse and worse, and they're becoming more chronic. Brothers and sisters, there are no incurable diseases. How can I say that? With confidence, because the Almighty did not create any. We did. We made a mistake. So correct our mistakes. Now we have the knowledge to do that. And live disease-free. Can you imagine? Becoming disease-free and living disease-free, becoming smarter and smarter, and knowing how to avoid and prevent diseases on this toxic planet? There's booger traps everywhere on this planet, brothers and sisters. Why? To test us. We were sent here to be tested and to make our mark. That's why we're here. So the big dialysis misinformation. And people think that their kidney can be replaced by a dialysis machine. And then you have people who are waiting for a transplant. If you didn't get the knowledge to take care of the kidney that you have, how do you think you're going to take care of the one that you get from a transplant? It just makes no sense to me. What we're doing, you have the ability to repair the one that you have. Why the one that you have deteriorated? It deteriorated because what you were eating, brothers and sisters, what you were exposed to. And the misinformation that you took in. And you thought it was the gospel. No, it was misinformation. That's what happened. So why are so many people on dialysis? Why are so many people on dialysis? And why are they all in our community, our neighborhood? I know I asked the question. I know you should have asked that question too. Why are so many dialysis machines in our neighborhood? Making so convenient for us. When we have problems with so many other different things, we have problems with grocery stores in our community, brothers and sisters, but we have dialysis machines in our community and we never have to ask for them. Right away, that makes me suspicious. For anything else that's worth having, we have to beg for them, protest for them, march for them. But do you recall any of us marching for a dialysis clinic in our neighborhood? I ain't see it in the news anywhere. Have you? I'm asking you the question now. Raise your hand if you ever saw a group of people line up and protest to get a dialysis machine clinic in the neighborhood. I'm waiting. I'm waiting. I don't see any hands raised. See, just tell me right there, we've been had, brothers and sisters. We've been bamboozled. But nobody does any favor for us unless there's some money behind it. Follow the money. I hope y'all forgive me with my tone because I'm trying to wake people up. I'm sorry. I'm doing all I can to wake people up to the reality that we are in charge of our own self. Nobody else is. No one is coming to save us, brothers and sisters. We have to become more educated and smarter and take care of our brain, take care of our body, take care of ourselves. And that's exactly what we'll become. More aware, more enlightened, and more scientific if we take care of our health. Whatever we're doing, brother and sister, make sure that health is a priority, a major focus in your life. You end up finding out you become a better person, a better human being. Because now you'll find out what a human being really is. Why can't the person's kidney function properly? Some claim that the renal failure is genetic because it's run in their family. Others claim that it is the result of high blood pressure. All of these are bold-faced lies. It's not genetic. It's not because it's running your family. It is because you're making the same mistakes. And so family members that came before you are the one that came after you. You all are making the same mistakes. No, hereditary dialysis. Kidney failure, not hereditary. There's no gene for being on the dialysis machine. Doesn't exist. None of those things are true. Has a person ever come off dialysis? Do you know anybody ever come off? Let me know. Either the person on dialysis receive a transplant or they die. In other words, it is either A or B. Hundreds of people who received a kidney transplant did not make it after the transplant. How blood filtration is done. Anybody teaching you how kidneys filter our blood? Anybody is teaching us how the kidneys function? Even after a person goes on dialysis or kidney began to fail, the doctor still don't teach them anything about how their kidney is supposed to function. Well, when would you know? Where do you go to learn? I'm just asking the question, brother and sister. Well, let me share how our kidney filter blood and why no dialysis machine can emulate the filtration mechanism of our kidney. Can't do it. Cannot do it. The filtering unit is called a nephron. We have 1 million nephron in the right kidney, 1 million nephron in the left kidney. That gives us 2 million nephrons to filter our blood. And when those nephrons become clogged and congested, then we lose the capacity of our kidney. If 500,000 of them become congested and clogged with sedimentary sludge and concretion and end-up substance from pharmaceutical, from herbs, and from the food we eat, then you will be losing 50% capacity of your kidney. You already have crossed the threshold. Once you pass 60%, you already crossed the threshold. So at 50%, you definitely have crossed the threshold of your kidney capacity. And your kidney doctor will begin to be concerned. And that capacity keep going down, because you're not removing any sludge, you're not removing any concretion, you're not removing any calcification, you're not removing any poison, nor did you modify your diet. You're still eating the same food you've been eating for 50 years, 60 years, 70 years. You didn't change anything. You're still making the same mistakes. So now your capacity is down to 25%. Now you're at chronic kidney disease. When you could have done something. You could have called me, could have called Miss Rita, could have called Miss Yvette, could have called Symptometry to find out what was happening. You could have went to the website of the American School of Symptometry. We have article there posted on dialysis and taking care of your kidneys. Scientific verifiable information already available. But somehow you didn't get the word. You didn't get the memo. You didn't know about this program. We asked you to share the information. These are the things that happens, brothers and sisters. Blood reaches the kidney through the tiny capillary vessels called capillary. Through the blood vessels called capillary.
I want to do it overtime. Just take a break.
Does someone have a question?
That's paid for it.
Mr. Rashid, you have a question? We'll mute your mic. So blood reaches the kidney through the blood vessels called capillaries. That's those tiny hair-like structure called capillary. that nourishes everything about the human body. Capillary nourish everything. Our brain, our heart, our lung, our kidneys, our liver, everything, capillary. Filtration force in the capillaries that nourishes everything with oxygenated blood. They're tiny, like the hair strand on your head. That small. We're carrying all of the nutrients and resources to the cells, supplying them with everything they need until that stop happening. They get clogged up because what you're eating, and you didn't remove any sludge. So the kidney cell filters the blood, and these cells are extremely sensitive to prussic acid. You find prussic acid, brother and sister, in nuts and seeds. All of them, because we're not supposed to be eating them. That's why it's in there. So you don't eat all nuts and seeds that produce another plant. So these plants must be on planet Earth to do what? Purify the air. So if those nuts and seeds were not in there, we'll eat them all up. We think they're all for us. And we forget about the air need to be purified so we can continue to breathe it. So God, the creator, had to put poison in there, keeping us from eating it. Isn't that amazing? He knew what a human being is capable of doing. So now we are educating you. Don't eat nuts and seeds because they have life germ to produce another plant that must be on this planet to purify the air we breathe. All plants are here for that reason, brother and sister. We never made the connection. We think they're here for us to eat. Well, if you can't breathe, you definitely won't worry about trying to look for some food to eat. I'm just bringing it to your attention. That's all we're doing here, to make more and better connection. So these cells, our kidney cells, are extremely sensitive to prussic acid and visine, as well as the overwhelming sedimentary sludge and concretion these capillaries bring to the kidney. Concretion, sedimentary sludge. So the nephron will be clogged, congested with all of this garbage, reducing their capacity year by year, because you're not doing anything to maintain them, to remove the sludge, to remove the concretion, to remove the inert substance. That's your responsibility. That's my responsibility. If you want your kidneys to continue to function, the glomerular endothelium cells and the podocytes within the nephrons inert pressure to push blood against the glomerular basement membrane called GBM. This pressure filters the blood by retaining the resources and eliminating all impurities, which are then exerted as urine, as urine. This is how our kidneys is purifying the blood. This is what happens. This is how it's done, brother and sister. This is what happened in theory. But here's what happened in real life situation. Your kidney become clogged with sedimentary sludge and concretion because we have to eat food. If human beings didn't have to eat food, we'd be just fine. But because we have to eat food, we have to remove these things from our blood. That's what we have to do. We have to remove these things from our blood because we have to eat food. The food we eat. People eat figs or cheese, and both of them will produce blood clots because they have a substance called ficin, F-I-C-I-N, a blood clotting agent. figs, cheese, two substances that produce blood clots, blocking circulation. Circulation is everything about our health, brothers and sisters. If it doesn't circulate, if it's a problem, you're going to have a problem. I'm going to have a problem. This is what happens. Those who eat nuts or seeds will have prussic acid to deal with, a poison, and all poison either deactivate enzyme or they denature the enzyme. We already know that. We told you that many times already on this program. You deactivate enzyme, denature enzyme, you're going to have a disease. And no question. The cell cannot do anything without enzyme. That is the first thing that they produce to do their work. First thing. And it's your responsibility not to deactivate it or denature them. But because of what you eat, because of what we drink, because of the chemical we expose ourselves to, we deactivate them and denature them, setting us up for a disease. Our kidney cannot function without enzyme because it is the enzyme that breaks the bond of sedimentary sludge. Break the bond. Everything is held together by molecular bond. Ionic bond, covalent bond, hydrogen bond, chemical bonds. Those are the 4 types. This is not complicated, brothers and sisters. Everything is held together by a bond. Family tie, bond. Friends held together, bond, invisible bond that bind us together as friends, as family, as community, as a nation. Imagine that. Absolutely amazing. Our kidney cannot function without enzyme because most enzymes are bond breaker. That's what we have to produce to break the bond on toxic, poison, alkaloids, concretion, sediment, sedimentary sludge. The bonds must be broken. Sometimes you have the particulate to speed up the production of bond breakers to help the cell. If a person consumes eggs, they may develop a serious cholesterol problem because eggs contain oxosteroid that make your cholesterol as hard as diamonds to remove. That's why the person will have a cholesterol problem. If you have a cholesterol problem, the cell cannot maintain their permeability. They must be permeable, as a membrane should be, that goes both ways, into the cell and out of the cell. Permeability must be maintained. There are enzymes that maintain the permeability of the cell membrane. If you deactivate that enzyme, well, your cell will be on lockdown. They won't be able to receive any nutrients nor resources to do anything to protect you, to maintain your health. I hope you see these clear connections in the explanation that we're given. That's why the person will be sick, brother and sister. That's no mystery here. That's no mystery, such thing as mystery diseases. Your physician's just never been taught to explain it. They don't even take the time to explain anything to you or to educate you. They treat symptoms with drug and surgery. That's what they do. When it's all the cells need is nutrients and resources to remove what's blocking them from working. That's all we have to do. So that oxosteroid will block the capillary, cause them to be blocked and excluded, occlusion, blockages. So blood flow will be impeded. There'll be no blood will get to the nephrons. So they can use the nutrient and resources to produce the energy and the resources and the essential they need to produce. That's why the person have a disease. The cells are unable to produce the essential to maintain normalcy. So abnormalcy will occur. All you got to do is block normalcy, and then abnormalcy is automatic. You don't have to do anything after that. It's automatic. So the disease would be automatic if you don't maintain normalcy. That's why it's your responsibility to put it back. Normalcy, to put normalcy back by taking care of the needs of the cell. Give the cell what they need, then they will work to restore normalcy. And they don't need drugs because they're not made of drugs. They're made of nutrients and resources and water and the right oil and the right salt. That's what they need. So if those capillaries become blocked or they become collapsed or they collapse, then you're going to have chronic kidney disease. If the person eat plantain contains an alkaloid called hummus, and that may cause overproduction of urine. Frequent urination will occur. And of course, you can cause symptometry to ionize this alkaloid from your bladder, from your kidney, and reduce the number of times that you eat plantain. Instead of eat it every other day, eat it maybe once a week, twice a month. That's what you do. You get smarter. That's what we do, brothers and sisters, get smarter. Brothers and sisters, if you have a question, you can stop me any time. So ask your question.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam. Brother Rashid, thank you for
Yes,
joining us.
yes, sir. I'm just enjoying. I'm enjoying. I as you was talking, it seems like the circulatory system is so important to us all. I'm looking at my grandchildren, or my children who don't know, and what can we as parents do to begin to change their diet and not allow what's happening to them by us poisoning them. And basically, it's what we're doing because we don't know any better. Uh, what can we do for our children at an early age, 5, 6, 7 age groups that we can really help our children kind of maintain or become better at who they are and what they are and the possibilities of what their growth factors are? If you can share that a little bit, I appreciate it.
Excellent question. We appreciate that question. Excellent question. In order to get somebody to change or have a mindset change, you have to change. This is what I've discovered. You have to become the best example that you want them to follow. You don't have to say anything. You start working on your health, you're getting better and better, you're looking better, you're talking better, you're more energized, you're more confidence, you're more thoughtful. You follow the indication of the cells. You're being proactive. You're not procrastinating like you used to do. You're time sensitive. See, all these are the characteristics of our cells. If we follow what our cells are doing, it will make us excellent human beings. So we have to become the best example of what we want to see from them. We can tell them to change their diet, but if they see us chaotic eating everything, well, what you just told them means nothing. You just told them it's not important. Even though I'm telling you to do it, it's not important because I'm not doing it. Whatever we want our children to do, it might take them a while to get it, but they're watching you. Every time you tell them to do something, they see them, do you do that? That's what I've learned as a parent. That's what I've learned as a parent. If I want my children to do something, I have to be the first one to do it, to demonstrate it. This is how people learn. This is why we have to have a role model, and the parent should be that, the role model, not some athlete. or the president, you. And this is what my wife and I have found out to be the case. Those who want to improve their life, they'll pick up on it. Those who destined to be punished, you don't want to do anything but complain, well, you've done your best. So I think we have become more knowledgeable. First thing, we come here not knowing anything. And I don't blame my parents for anything. They did the best they could. And we stand on the shoulder of giants. But now it's our day. What are we doing? We have to do better. And then we'll make our mark in the coming generation. This is how it's done. This is how we leave the mark in those genes. The genes records everything, and future generation will be using them, just like we're using them today. And the ancestor left knowledge in jewels, fresh ideas, solution in the genes that we have inherited. But since our health is falling apart, and the information is in vibration, so if you can't receive the vibration because you're not producing all the neurotransmitter and neurons in the proper number and amount, so we won't get the vibration. The frequency will be off. So we don't have the benefit of our past generations, our ancestors warning us and supplying solution, making us the best solution finder. These are the things that we have to know. That's why our health is so important, to take care of our brain. The Almighty gifted us with a 3-pound brain, the human being, with intellect, intelligent, to solve any problem. So we live that life, our children and grandchildren will learn from it. That's how you get them to change. They see you changing. So I hope that answered the question, Brother Rashid. We have another hand raised, Brother Muhammad Sharif. Salam alaikum. Thank you for joining us today.
Salam, Brother Rashid.
Yes. Thank you for joining us.
That was an excellent question. And the answer was excellent 3 times.
Alhamdulillah.
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 I mean, that was powerful. Just be the example. Be the example.
That's what Allah asks us to do. Be the best example we can be.
All right. Thank you for that.
Alhamdulillah. Thank you for joining us today and sharing those comments.
All right. Okay. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum assalam. So, brothers and sisters, we have a few more minutes left in our program. And if anybody have a question, here's a good time. You know, we can say more, but I think we pull out when we answer question and ask question, it just helps us to interact even more. Then I don't have to try to be guessing what you want to hear.
Sound like one more time, brother. I mean, of all the things you said today, you had to end it with this one thing that just caught my attention: being able to receive the vibrations.
Yeah.
And you know, you can kind of close us out with what that means, if you don't mind, and share with us that those receptors that are essential and necessary. I think you pretty much shared why we can't get the vibration.
On that blockages. Concrete.
Yes, sir.
Sediments. Blocking the vibration and the frequency.
Ain't there something, man? The knowledge, the information and the knowledge that we can get, it's there and it's available to us, but we're blocking it from entering into our disposition and our beings for us to function. Alhamdulillah. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yes, sir. The knowledge has been here all the time, brothers. A million years, 3.8 million years ever since human was on this planet. The knowledge was here. You know, so it's those genes. 10% from my mother, 10% from my father, and 80% from the ancestor, the vast majority of them. That's what made us. That's what created us. That's what gave us our abilities, our traits, our characteristics, those ancestors' genes. We also have their mistakes in us too. So we fail to produce those neurotransmitters, all 12 of them, and produce neurons by the billion. Those recessive genes will come forward, and those bad people who didn't care about anybody, care about anything, we'll be picking up on their ideas. That's what will be happening. This is why health is so important. Very important. See, the genes are recording devices, brothers and sisters. The histone and nuclear histone of our genes records everything about the human being, his behavior, his pattern, his speech, his action, his mood, everything. And it has unlimited space for data because all the data is reduced to vibration. And that's how we have to receive it, through vibration. So we produce all neurotransmitters, all 12 of them, and produce neurons daily by the billions. Now we're on the wavelength to receive the vibration. And we have the solution and answer to every problem. The Almighty put it there in the genes of our ancestors. So we'll be able to do things that's in no book. Books haven't been written. We'll be writing the books. Our children and grandchildren will be writing the books. The information will be coming from our genes. This is why optimal health is so important. We have all of the solution in us already. The Almighty put it there. And it's stored in our genes, brother and sister. That's where it is. But there's certain requirement in order for us to receive it. We have to take care of the health of our brain. How can you have a healthy brain without a healthy liver? We are interconnected, integrated, interdependent, and interrelated. And we operate as one biological unit. And when the Almighty created a human being, brothers and sisters, he created a giant communication system. That's what we are, communicating system that can communicate from one generation to the next generation. And it's in our genes. And when the person died, the genes have already left the body, going back to the gene pool for other generation coming later to use. What mark are we placing in those genes, brother and sister? What are we doing to make a difference, to affect those genes? We're just going to pass on disease after disease after disease? That's what we're passing on? Here's what sometimes you have discovered, brother and sister. If we cured our disease, we don't pass them forward to the coming generation. We take it out of the gene pool. That should be enough for us to want to cure our disease. Well, it's enough for me to cure every disease I have. And that's what Dr. Norton has achieved. He was the sickest person in his family. He cured all of his diseases. He's the most healthy person on this planet. And he's proven it. And that's why he knows about health. It didn't come out of a book, brother and sister. You draw your own conclusion where it came from, where the information, the knowledge came from, the ideas, to look here in this place, to research this in that place. To intuition, where did it come from? If we follow this paradigm, brothers and sisters, we'll become the best people on this planet, the most knowledgeable ones, with the universe connecting and communicating to us. Universe connecting and communicating with us. Well, I'm sharing with us how it's done. So I hope that inspire all of us to work to improve our health, because we're connected with the intersection between the seen and the unseen, the visible and the invisible. And the Almighty needs us healthy and alive, not sick and dying. These are the facts. And I'm not apologizing because I have to be the one to tell you. Where did I get the courage from to now say what I'm saying? Because I used to be afraid to say it. I guess I must be producing dopamine. Now I'm not afraid of anything. We just got to carry out the role and the responsibility of the human being. So, brothers and sisters, we're going to have to make our exit. There's another program coming up on my heels. Mali Ali Kuliha, Imam Abdul Aziz from Masjid Adam. They'll be coming on right after our program. So we're going to prepare to make our exit. We're going to share information here for those who need a certified symptometry health coach. I hope people are finding out more and more about symptometry. Go to the website, brothers and sisters. It's absolutely amazing. The information that's available there. Many articles posted there daily almost, make it hard for us to keep up. But please go there, amsos.org, the American School of Symptometry website. You click on article, you see many articles posted. Check them out. There's a search engine there. If you want to look up something in particular, put it in the search engine and you'll find many articles that will come up related to the subject. Also, we have classes, brothers and sisters. The new class will start in January. We have Symptometry 101 all the way up to the doctoral program. Absolutely amazing. All about cellular health, the health of the human cell, to make him the best person on this planet, bar anyone. Absolutely amazing, brothers and sisters. You can become knowledgeable and an expert on the living cell of the human being that created us in the first place. So you see our information. My wife and I are both certified symptometry health coaches. Email address, ashaheed2@gmail.com. Phone number, 470-755-6506. You see it all there. And also Mrs. Rita, one of our guests, information there. And we also have Miss Yvette Dean, who's also an often guest and also a certified symptometry health coach. And she had the death in her family. The reason why she's not with us today, we like to ask people to pray for her and send your condolences to her. She had a brother-in-law that passed, and I'm sure she did all she could do to get that brother-in-law to come to symptometry and to address his condition. But as you know, people have faith in their physician, and you see the results. So please have her in your prayers and her family, that she overcome the trying time that the family is going through with. So hopefully within a few months, a few weeks, she'll be back with us, sharing information from the American School of Symptometry with us. So brothers and sisters, we're flat out of time. We thank you for joining us here today on Optimal Health on AM 360. We look forward to another and a new episode on next Monday, same time, same station, from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. Eastern Time with your host, Abdul Shaheed, and our guests here on Optimal Health AM 360. We're going to have an excellent topic that we all can learn from, and it's just a matter of putting these topics and information into practice, and we'll get better and better and better, brother and sister. So we thank you for joining us here today on Optimal Health on AM 360. We're going to see if we have the next host coming up. Well, I see someone I can pass the mic on to. We're going to go in and stop the line.